Hi guys, and welcome back to Andy's Aspies. So today I thought I would talk to you about babysitting and babysitters. When you have Aspies or a child with Aspie or autism and the difficulties of it. So starting out with babysitting, I want to say it was like my second job as a babysitter. I did amazing with babies because babies are easy to take care of in my understanding of the world. You know, they eat, they sleep, they cry, they coo, they play, sometimes crawl, sometimes walk, and they really don't ask in like words per se. They ask more in like their noises, and then you just kind of, oh, let's try this bottle, oh, that's not it, oh, you smell poopy, that's it, oh, yay, you're happy, you know. I mean, it was really easy to take care of them. But as they get older and they get toddlers, now, don't get me wrong, I have a total of 6 children. 3 of them that I raised from babies, 3 of them are from my husband's ex, and you know, they've been in my life since the oldest one there was like 10. And so it's not like I don't have kids or can't interact with kids, but I've always had a challenge, and even with my own children, relating and playing in that imaginary sense. I just don't know how to, and I'm not capable of giving them a hug, like a full-on hug, unless they are like hurt or something. It's hard for me to explain, but it's very uncomfortable and almost painful for me to hug. Now I can kiss them goodnight, but I with the hugs it's more of, you know, I don't know, it's really hard to explain. The only one I really liked hugs from was from my mom and dad and from my husband. The sensory of this is way overwhelming, and there are times where I need to get what people call mom time. I need to just go, and I need to leave because it's too much noise, and they know if I go like this, they are being too loud. It's just, or I'll go, you know. I don't want to do too much because my service dog will alert me then when I'm just trying to give an example. I'll start rocking, I'll start rubbing my hands here on my laps or here in my face. Even this, they all know that those are signs that I'm getting overwhelmed. It's becoming too much. It's too many questions, too much noise. All of that combined is just not okay. But when they're like 2-3 years old and they ask you to play people, you know, those little people that whatever, I've never been able to play that with them. I've never been able to play that with the babysitter children that I babysat. I had a really hard time coming up with games other than the traditional games. I had a really hard time doing that imaginative play because I didn't know how. I still don't know how. I always felt bad because like I couldn't relate to the older children. I can't even relate to my older children until they became like a teenager and are able to explain things more and whichever. And right now my son is going through that phase of that 10-year-old stage, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I don't understand, I don't know how. And you know, it'll get better as he gets to be a teenager, but for now it's hard. So it's like I said, it's not that we can't watch kids, it's just it made it very difficult for me, and I preferred watching babies. And then as I grew up and I got more careers, I really thought my career would be in childcare like my mom. And I had a few different careers, or a few different jobs in childcare, but again, the only one Sorry, my computer went out. And it's really early. Like, I just woke up maybe an hour ago, so I'm still kind of tired, so I apologize. But the only room that I did good in was infants and 1-year-olds, and any other room I was lost, and I was better as a helper than I was as a lead. And I got fired at many a jobs because I couldn't remember all of the state rules. So it's not like I was like mean to the kids or anything. It's just I couldn't remember all of the state rules and follow all of the state rules. And at some of them, I did follow the state rules, but because they weren't following the state rules, they let me go, and I called in on them because I didn't feel that was right. Now, as a babysitter, or as getting a babysitter, my gosh, I've been married to my husband for 16 years, and I have a 15-year-old, my biological oldest, and we haven't gone on a date since, I believe since my 10-year-old was born. Because, well, shortly after my 10-year-old, so he would, yeah, because when my youngest was born, she is now 7, that's when I had to stop dating, like going out on dates, I should say, because to find someone who understands her autism, who is knowledgeable of her autism and won't let her get in trouble with things, it's so hard and it's so scary. And I do have 2 very good friends that I do trust them with her, and I don't want them to think that I don't, because I do. It just, as a mom, is very, very scary. In fact, I was talking to my husband about letting her go on a sleepover soon here to one of my friends, and in retrospect, it sounds like a really good idea, but I'm really scared to let it happen too. She's going to school for the first time, like public school for the first time this year, and I'm terrified of it because I don't know, is she going to stay in the classroom? Is she not going to disrupt the other kids? Is she not going to get teased? Is she not going to run away on the playground or talk to a stranger? You know, all of these things. Is she going to have a meltdown? Is she going to have a shutdown? Which she has a lot just in homeschooling. You know, is the food there, like we send her cold food, is she going to eat that? There's so much worries and so much fear with this that I just wanted other families to know they're not alone who are going through this, who have these fears, and that I have some really good friends who are helping me through this because they have kids that are in the school system already, and really good friends who are helping me with offering for babysitting. But just know your kids, whether they are autistic or not, are capable of so much more than what we realize, and so much more than what we think they can do at times, because they may have this label, or they may have this ability that we see that scares us, but they can do so much more. Like right now, I'm in a job where I cashier, and I do I put return clothes back on the racks where they belong, and we have to color and size them.
Excuse me,
And then, yes.
I don't need my
Okay. And then I also have to bring out merchandise and put it on the shelves where that belongs. And it would be a job that is hard because, you know, I work with people, but it's still a job that is working with me and my disabilities. I've known some autistic people who are in a business, who own a business, who, you know, I mean, we're capable of so much more, and I don't want to be dismissed, and I'm sure that anyone else does not want to be dismissed, and I will not dismiss my daughter who has autism. I will not dismiss my daughter who has autism because of her autism. I will encourage her. Some jobs may be very difficult or not able to do, but that's for her to find out and decide. And I feel like people dismiss us all the time because we have this disability. And I hate the word disability. I think it's more of a superpower. I really do, because we can think so different than anyone else. And I may not think in the normal social realm and be able to do the people thing, but I can come up with some really cool stuff outside of the box. And the only reason I don't express that is because I get looked down upon. And these people would think that these are a little kid and stupid and I shouldn't be wearing these, and I'm probably going to get some comments on it, but you know what? I like them. They're 4th of July, they're festive, and I like this stuff. I like the difference, I guess. I always have and I always will. So please don't judge us, and please don't tell us we can't do something. Let us try. We may not be the norm babysitter, we may not be the norm child, but you know, we do have some really good ideas, and given a chance, even if it's just babysitting while you're in the other room and giving you a chance to do your work, you know, get your work done, that's a start for someone like us who, that's how I started. I babysat while they were in the other room, and I learned. And they're never going to learn. They're never going to get the chance if someone doesn't step up and help out. So, you know, just keep that in mind, that they may be honest and tell you they have autism, but just say, hey, you go in the other room, keep them entertained while I do this work. And even if it's like a, what do you call it, where they are internship, you know, it's still experience and it still helps. So, thank you for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. And I will see you guys later. Later!